So our first step would be to integrate CSS, JS and layout to our project. We'll be using Bootstrap. So in this tutorial, we shall be integrating the Bootstrap CSS library, and this will be our first step in that integration. But before that, there are certain prerequisites, and let's have a look at them also. You will have to review the following chapters of my course on ASP.NET Core, because I won't be able to take the theory in detail in this project. For theory, you will have to refer these chapters. The chapter 1 is Razor Pages for middleware, layout and CSS integration. And then after this, the second chapter would be on application startup, where we will need to understand environments, logging, app settings and Kestrel, etc. We'll be using all of them in this tutorial today. This is the initial setup and most of the things will be done in this. And then you will have to also learn the chapter 4 on modularity, where we will be using view imports file during our integration of the CSS, JS and layout files. And if you do not want to go through all this, then you can learn with me as you walk, because this is a typical project. The main practical steps, they are used in almost every project, so you can learn the basic settings this way also if you want. I have already created the project, so we will directly come to the Visual Studio and start seeing the various parts that we have done. First of all, you will have to create this Visual Studio project that supports C# 11. This is very important because some parts of this project, they depend on C# 11, and you should also be using on .NET 7 so that .NET Core is used in this project. You should create a simple application, and in that application, or you can start with my template, and in this application we'll keep adding certain files as we go in doing this project. So the first file that we have added is the first folder will be added as www-root. This contains CSS for Bootstrap, bootstrap.css, and the JavaScript for the Bootstrap. These two folders I have obtained from the Bootstrap website, and you can download. You will get these or maybe a bit variation of these. For example, this includes css.map, min and all. So whatever you get, you can put it inside your CSS and inside the JS folder. I have just copy pasted, done no change in that because I wanted a quick start, but in a real project you will ultimately delete the unneeded stuff. So this is the www-root directory that you will need, and after this, as I am explaining, in the shared folder directly inside the pages folder, you will have your layout file _L layout. Review the chapters for a better understanding. Now I will explain this file, the various parts of this file. The first part of this file is the HTML directive, then the head directive, then viewport, title, and this is for environment. If the environment is development, we will use bootstrap.css, bootstrap.js, and if the environment is not development, we will use the min versions of the same CSS and JS files. So this is a separator that we have used here. It will help us decide the file that we are going to actually include. So during development we are using normal versions, and when it is not development, when it is production or something else or staging, we will be using the min versions. The good thing is that most of the things we get advantage from the Bootstrap, so we don't have to worry about much of formatting. And here after this we have the body tag, and inside this we have the render body tag. This tag will put whatever page we write. that page will be included in its place. So this is practically what is done in a layout file. You can otherwise include header, footer in a website, but since this is a simple voting project, we only need to have our body, and therefore we have done it like that. And after this, let us now come to our next file. I'll close this so that you can see what is where. Then we have our view start file, underscore view start file. It is not inside shared, it is directly inside the pages directory as you are seeing here. I will double click and open it. As you can see, this file simply says that the layout is shared / underscore layout. So this underscore layout file that we have just seen inside the shared folder, this will be the layout file for all the pages that you are seeing adjacent to this view start file. So adjacent to view start is index, and we will add more pages. For all of them, this layout file will become the layout. So the common integration will take place through this one. And after this, we have also included a view imports file. This file is again directly inside the pages. It is not inside shared, it is not kept inside shared, it is parallel to the directly inside the pages, and it contains some using references that will be commonly used and add tag helpers for forms, etc. These are commonly used for all these, so we have written them in one place. They will automatically apply to any pages that you create in this folder. And after this, let us have a look at the index.cs HTML file. This file is now using the Bootstrap classes, and you can see that this file is simply saying hello voting, nothing else, because we just want to get started. And its companion CS file, it contains absolutely nothing. We'll modify, we will add code to it as we proceed towards the later tutorials. So this is about the index.cs HTML file. This is the only file that we have added. And after this, let us come to app settings.json file. This file contains application wide settings, and I'll just go through it very quickly. First of all, we have detailed errors true. Then this is a logging. We will be using the console logger. So inside this, we have set the default log level as none, so that we do not see very large log. We only want to see the log of our application. So I have set my Razor app trace the minimum level. So whatever log is written through our namespace, my Razor app namespace dot everything, their minimum level will be the trace level. So we will get just a selective log in this case. And after that, I have used the simple console formatter with formatting options as single line is false, so that I'll get multi-line. This is in fact the default option. This is the default option, but I have set it single line false and timestamp as hours, minutes and seconds with a small arrow, so that we can see the log in a bit beautiful way. And this is, I have marked here, you will have to do further study of more options that are available. Some colors and all are, everything is available. So I have used the simple one. So you can use more options are there. You should go through the logging providers chapter either in my course, or you can refer direct to the MSDN documentation. You will find more detail, but for a practical application, for a normal day-to-day application, this is more than sufficient. You do not need to go anywhere else for that. And let us now come to the program.cs file, and this file will need a bit of explanation. First of all, this is the builder, create builder, and inside this I have set the environment as development. We could have set it through your environment variables also, but this is a bit quicker, easier way. So I have set it development, and when we run this in production, I will simply change it to dot production. So this is one of the good practical ways. And after this, since we are going to vote in a classroom, we will need to display the IP address of the computer on which our application is running. So I have just made a constant port. We will open this port later on, and we'll open this port for public access later on. But right now I have set it this. LAN IP is obtained through this code. You can go through this code on your own level. This is more of a copy paste story. So once I have this IP address and the port, I have used use URLs to run my application on localhost port or this LAN IP port. This means something like this: 122.168.1.2:8090 will be shown. User will have to enter this on his mobile phone, and if he is testing it on this computer, then this localhost will be used. I have not used HTTPS anywhere. I have not used it anywhere because that will require more complex settings for me. So that is why I have just used this one, because it will be used on a LAN classroom. So HTTPS will create problems. I have simply set as HTTPS here, HTTP here. And after this, let us come to, then I have set add Razor pages and build. This use static files is for that CSS JS integration. Then map Razor pages, and then I have just displayed a log app.logger. Log information environment I have displayed so that we can see, and listening on this port, also listening on this port, and HTTP secure not supported, use HTTP. So this small piece of log information will be shown through our Razor namespace, and therefore it will appear when we run this application, and here it is going to be run. And now let us execute this project so far to see that everything is going right. We will now debug, start debugging, and you can see that the log has appeared. This angle, the time, environment is development, listening also listening, HTTP secure not supported, use HTTP. So this is working so far, and let us open the browser also. So when we open the browser, we see this hello voting. The only line that we wrote there is shown here. So this is how our whole project is working so far. I'll close it right now. Thank you.